Hey beautiful souls, welcome to today's soul chat. So I want to do a series on understanding our emotions from a spiritual lens. And so the very first emotion that we're going to talk about today is guilt. Let's understand what guilt is first, and then we're going to go into how to release guilt. And then we'll also talk about like somatically what practices we can do and like where in our body guilt really lives. So let's understand guilt from the perspective of our soul, from the perspective of his spiritual lens. So the one thing that I want you to understand is emotionally, everything that comes up emotionally in our body, it is on a level of energy that's coming through from lessons that our soul is trying to teach us and that maybe we aren't ready to learn or go through. And so we have this stuck energy within us, right? And so to back that up a little bit, to understand, our souls have contracts, and those contracts are written up for our soul to go through the experiences that it wants to experience in this human form. And the soul, before it becomes human, before it comes into human form, it decides, like, here are all of the things I want to experience. In order for me to experience these things, these are the lessons I want to go through. These are the lessons I want to learn. This could be also tied to things from a past life. This could also be tied to things from a past life, in the sense of like we were trying to achieve something and we weren't able to. And so in this lifetime, the soul decides, like, this is a lifetime I want to achieve that. In order for me to achieve that, I need to go through these lessons. Those lessons are tied to thoughts. Those lessons are tied to emotions. So an emotion is nothing but an emotion, right? And it's energy in motion. And so the first thing that comes before the emotion is a thought. A thought, a belief, comes within us and sets within our energetic being to then put that energy into motion. So guilt is nothing but an energy that's in motion. Guilt lives mostly within our heart and also within our womb. So if you are a woman, moms, specifically for you, I need you to understand this. Guilt lives within our womb space. It lives in our heart, but also within our womb space. And why that's important is because our womb space is the space of intuition. It's also the space of creativity, and it's a space of birthing, right? If you think about the womb, that's where we carry children. That's also where you carry everything else that you're trying to birth into this life. And as moms, we carry a lot of guilt. I feel like the second that you become a mom, or you know that you're going to become a mom, it's like this guilt just settles in within you of like, oh, I have all of these things I want to do, but then you feel guilty about doing them because you don't know if you're giving enough for your children. You don't know if you're doing enough for your children. You don't know if it's going to be enough. Like, all of this lack starts to settle within us, of feeling that guilt, of feeling like, am I doing enough? Am I giving enough? Am I there for them when they need me? Or am I doing the things that are taking away experiences from them? And we store this guilt within us, and it just keeps moving, right? It's energy in motion. So that energy is just moving. It's just going in motion over and over again. And as we experience things in our reality, we're experiencing them from the lens of that guilt. So guilt is nothing but the feeling or the dissonance of the separation of you and source, you and God, you and whatever that higher power is for you, right? You not understanding your own divinity, you not understanding that you are already enough. You are already doing everything that you need to. And here's the other part that I really want you to anchor into. As a mom, or as a woman that is going onto a journey as a mother, you're always going to be enough for your children. Your children also have soul contracts. They also have things that they need to experience. So everything that's happening in their life and everything that's happening in your life, there are lessons that need to be learned. So whatever you're giving is always going to be enough, right? You're always going to do enough. So it's time for you now to release that guilt. It's time for you to understand that you are enough and you are connected to that source. That source is nothing but an unlimited version an unlimited channel of energy that never runs out, right? It never runs out. So there's no reason for you to hold on to this guilt of, am I doing enough? Should I go here? Should I not do that? It's like you're creating these stories, you're creating these narratives in your head for the guilt to keep perpetuating. And then that is actually, that lens, you're wearing the lens of guilt, so that's actually being presented in your reality. So you're actually seeing everything from the perspective of guilt. So that guilt within you is in the driver's seat and is actually showing you all of the things that you are doing that you should not be doing because it's leading to the detriment of your child or the detriment of your family or whatever it may be. And so you should scale back on those things and you should do things differently. So you are catering to that guilt. And you know what happens when we cater to the guilt or any emotion? It just keeps living. You're giving it fuel to live. So now that we understand that, now that we understand what guilt is, why guilt lives within us, and all of the different aspects of guilt from a spiritual lens, let's start to release it, right? Let's start to figure out ways to release it. And I'm going to show you 3 ways. So the very first way is through breath. This is the easiest way. So the next time you're feeling like this guilt is like whelping up in you, right? I want you to practice this. And this is like things that I practice because I also live with guilt. Like I said, as a mom, I feel like it just like inherently comes into us when we become pregnant or right before we become pregnant. Like we just somehow, like it's like we're birthing a child, but also birthing this guilt within us. And it's like we have to learn how to release it. And so these are things that I've done and I also do with my clients. And we've seen a lot of success with them. So the very first one is breath. So, and the reason why I want to start off with breath is because it's available to you at all times and you can do it anywhere. So next time you feel this guilt whelping up or you feel like really guilty for something that's happened in your life, I want you to sit and do this breath. And this is really going to help you just release and move forward feeling a little bit better. So the very first thing is just take a comfortable spot or pick a comfortable spot. And then I want you to just, you can hold your chest or your belly, whichever one. Take a deep breath into your belly. Watch it expand outwards. And then as you inhale, let it contract inwards. And then do that twice. So deep breath in, deep breath out, deep breath in, and deep breath out. And now that you're grounded with your breath, you're really just going to expel breath. And this is called the breath of fire. This is really good to move that energy out. And when you have like a lot of like pent up energy or negative energy, I want you to do this. And so it looks like you're just going to breathe in and exhale out very quickly. So I'm going to show you how to do it. And then you can practice with me. So deep breath in. And it's like you're just exhaling. You keep doing that and do it for about, I want to say, if you're starting off with it, do it about for like 15-20 seconds and then stop, pause, and do it again for another 15-20 seconds, and then you can pause. And then the next practice I'm going to show you is just tapping. So on the side of your palm, you're just going to tap there, and you can just say an affirmation. And a really good one that I like to say is, I acknowledge you, guilt. I know that you are within me. I am releasing you now, and I'm moving towards peace. So you can tap and you can say, I acknowledge you, guilt. I know that you're there. I'm releasing you now, and I'm aligning with peace. And you can keep tapping there and saying that. And you can also just say something very simple, which is, I let go of this guilt and I align to my true self. I let go of guilt. I align to my true self. And then I want you to also tap and just say, I love myself and honor myself right now in this moment. I love and honor myself now in this moment, exactly the way I am. And you're just tapping on this point on your palms. So we're not doing the whole like EFT tapping points. We're just doing this point. And the reason why I like to do this point, and these are moments when like you're really feeling the guilt, right? It's like, it just helps to do things that are simple in the moment, because, you know, as mothers, we don't have all of the time available to us. That's like the other limiting belief that we all have, right? It's like, I don't have enough time. I'm doing all of these things, and we feel very overwhelmed. And so if we can try to practice things that are doable in our mind, we won't resist it. And so you're just going to tap on this point. And if you feel called to doing a full EFT tapping, I can post a video up later this week about just releasing guilt with the EFT tapping and a meditation as well. And the last one is meditation. So with the meditation, I want you to just sit, close your eyes, get centered with your heart. Imagine the guilt within your heart. And now I want you to just imagine this beautiful golden light. Maybe it has a little bit of a green touch to it, a little bit of green color. Maybe it's gold to green. Just imagine it just hovering over your heart space right here. And then it like kind of enters into your body. And as it spirals into your heart space, it's also removing all of the guilt that's there. And as it's removing the guilt, you feel this lightness within your body. And as you feel this lightness within your body, you can relax. You can let go. Maybe even take a sigh. Maybe you raise your arms and just plop them down as if you're just really letting go of the guilt. Maybe you swing side to side. Maybe you just hold your heart. And just take a few moments. In that space, just imagine your guilt just kind of like washing off. As if it's like soap washing off your body. Like it's just really like being removed. And that light is like water removing that guilt. And just sit with it. Sit with it for 2 minutes, 3 minutes, however long you need to sit with it. And when you feel that relief of that guilt really releasing from your heart space, you can then go to your womb space and release the guilt that's there. With the same exercise, imagine that golden green light over your womb space. And it's just rotating around your womb space. And as it's rotating around, maybe you even take your hand and rub it around your womb as it's rotating. You can feel the energy of the guilt being removed from your womb space. And I hope that helps. I'm going to post an EFT tapping and a meditation as well for you. And I'll post that later this week. And so you can have that to work through guilt. But I'm just going to end it with like one final thing for you to understand any emotion from the lens of spirituality, but and from the lens of our soul is like, it's nothing but energy within us, right? And it's emotion, so energy in motion, and that energy is coming through us from our thoughts. And once we change the story, once we change the narrative, we're also releasing those emotions from us. As a mother, I can tell you this from my own experience. A lot of the guilt that I carry is nothing but limiting beliefs or things that I have carried for years and now are changing its dress or like its character into being guilt. So for example, I've always lived with the limiting belief of feeling like I'm not good enough or being a people pleaser because I feel like I'm not good enough. And the guilt in me is nothing but a version of that people pleasing and that feeling like I'm not good enough, like I explained to you earlier about what's happening with guilt, right? When we feel guilt within us, we feel like we're not able to do something that we were supposed to do, right? We're putting this pressure on ourselves and then we're feeling like, oh, maybe I shouldn't have said that, or oh, maybe I should have done this. The should have, would have kind of behavior, which is coming from a place that's deeper within us. And so if we're able to identify and bring awareness around those things, those stories that are deeper within us, we're also able to remove those emotions. And mom guilt is nothing but that. It's just this version of us that is telling us that we should be doing more, we should be doing things differently. And it comes from a place of lack, and it comes from a place of comparison, or it comes from a place of feeling like we're not good enough. And so I want you to understand that from the perspective of the soul and spirituality it's not true, because we are divinity. We're a form of the creator. We're co-creators, right? Like, we're nothing but an expression of God. And as an expression of God, we can never be not good enough, right? That's just us, and like a version of us or a part of us that believes that because we were told that or we experienced that growing up. And so let's stop that story by actually healing that version of us within us, and then releasing the guilt. Yes, you can work on releasing the guilt with the exercises I gave you in the moment, because the healing journey is longer. But remember, our goal is not to just put band-aids over things, right? Our goal in this healing journey is to really go deep, deep down into the darkness and remove it from the root, right? Remove the guilt from the root. Remove this feeling of lack from the root. And that is our work. That is the work that our soul came here to do. So I'll leave you with that. We'll be back with another video, but I love you all so much. Peace, love, and light. Namaste.